Cupcake Saturday is officially over in the SEC. Auburn handles Samford 31-7 after a slow start. You know, Samford actually scored first in this game.
Right.
At the beginning, it didn't look really good for Auburn. End of the first quarter, 0-0. I think Samford had the yardage advantage by almost double.
Yeah, I mean, Auburn, these slow starts have been kind of a trend here in the last few games. You know, they've got 3 losses now in the last 6 games. Most of those games, they were either shooting themselves in the foot or just getting off to really slow starts. So, you know, nothing really new. We figured that against Samford that Auburn could kind of put them away early, but they didn't score until midway through the second quarter. So there's still clearly, I think, some issues on both sides of the ball for Auburn as we head into the Iron Bowl.
I think kind of midway through that second quarter, though, you did see the potential in some of them be able to put some things together as far as, you know, a couple 3-and-outs, you know, scoring on a few possessions back to back. So I mean, you saw them put it together. At the same time, it was Samford.
Right. Yeah, and you figured that they could put up more than 31 points. I mean, obviously in the second half they got it figured out. You know, relying on the running game, that's just kind of been their bread and butter this season. They haven't really been a terrific passing team. Nick Marshall's still kind of overthrowing some passes. There's some receivers dropping balls. Obviously the loss of Duke Williams a few weeks ago is affecting that. And Gus Malzahn is hoping that he can come back for Alabama because Auburn's definitely going to need him.
Western Kentucky was handled by Alabama going into the Iron Bowl. How do you see this Auburn team matching up against Alabama? Because obviously, you know, game day is going to be there. We thought maybe at the beginning of the season or the middle of the season that this was going to be a bigger game than it's going to turn out to be because of Auburn's, you know, 2 losses prior to this game. But do you think this is a game where Auburn can maybe surprise some people, maybe knock off Alabama?
I mean, I do, just because it's the Iron Bowl and anything really can happen in the Iron Bowl. We've seen that, especially after last season. And, you know, people look at this Auburn team. At the beginning of the year, they were looking really, really good. They were in the playoff mix, and then obviously they've fallen out of it. But the players still have a lot to play for, and they want to close out the season strong. And after 3 losses, this is kind of Auburn's way of closing out the season on a high note and kind of salvaging this season if they can upset Alabama. Obviously, it's going to be difficult in Tuscaloosa to pull that off. But I think that Auburn. I think the players have the heart to do it. I think that they can make that game competitive. Alabama hasn't looked invincible this season, I don't think. I think Alabama's had a down year. I think Auburn's had a down year. And so I think that there's some matchups that Auburn can kind of take advantage of, but they've really got to figure something out quick. And like I said, Duke Williams coming back, if he can, that would be huge for Auburn. So we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens again. Auburn, Alabama in the Iron Bowl in T-Town. We'll see you there.